man, what a fast time they set. The AI are so good here at Pocono, like in every series. I look back at what I did in NH4, and I finished 12th here, and it was, even then I was looking at like highlights, and it was a battle. So hopefully we can do better. And this, look at this scheme. Oh my god, we can finally get Allgaier's schemes and actually embrace them, because now there's a with a third scheme being presented to him, there's a weird glitch that if a driver has one or two schemes, you can't actually change. But since third scheme was added, you can actually change schemes now. So not only do we get his throwback brand scheme, but also his precision tank scheme, and also his tank level. So yeah, let's see what we have here. Coming down the long pond straight. Just tap the brake, let it coast in. Black sign right there is when we pick it back up. Just gently turn the car, rotate it through the center, get wide off the exit, take as much room as possible, then long down the long back straight. Cone is our looking point right there. Black on the wall yet again. That's where we pick it back up. Could probably take a little bit more right there. Tire temps are fine. Okay, cool. I'd love to see how we are throughout the run. Kind of touch the brake there just to kind of loosen the car up a little bit. Touch the yellow and then take as much of the wall as possible. It's not actually, it is actually a pretty decent lap. Let's see what we have.
All right, we're back to the
definitely better, I think, than we did in practice. And P12. Okay, cool. So we're up, actually right up there with everyone. Yeah, what's going on, everyone? What's popping, everyone? What's going on, everyone? What's popping, everyone? Austin Cindric on pole. Ryan Sieg is up there. Nice. Top 10 things you like to see. Anthony Alfredo in the second. Well, Mike Snyder in the 21 in real life had a real good race here. Well, it was up until it ended on like lap, what, 2? No, it was like lap 4 or something like that. And that's because Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, and Brandon Jones, so there's that too. So yeah, P12, wow, very close to our practice time. And that was actually with a different setup too. I think we need to, may have to tighten this setup up a little bit. Base setup is from a user by the name of Smith Nation. But I'm definitely thinking about changing that up a little bit. I definitely adjusted already with the left track bar. The grill tape may need to come down. We'll have to see how it is. We'll play it by ear as the race goes on. But yeah, let's just, without further ado, starting P12, let's get this thing going. Timmy Hill is really fast today. Oh man, and that's number 2 of things you like to see today. Oh, and we actually have Daniel Hemrick's scheme up on deck right there. Oh, funny. Sorry, I didn't. No pun intended. On deck. Alright, so this is going to be a 100-lap shootout. I say shootout because it's really weird. In terms of laps, 100 laps is actually, we think, a lot. But Pocono, since we're running at less than a minute, it's actually, this race, time-wise, is about an hour and a half. So just nice and smooth. Yes, we're probably going to lose a little bit of time here on the high side, considering the high side, especially as we go to the tunnel turn, is not as good. Down to the I almost said bus stop. That's not it.
Got one inside. You got room.
No, the tunnel turn, and we do. We can kind of checks up a little bit.
Clear right.
But you know, no harm, no foul. Timmy Hill, though, I can see why they were saying that he is pretty fast. Because look at that, already up to the outside, around Vinnie Miller, trying to get to the inside of Michael Arnett. Nothing but bones. How are you doing today? What did I think about the race? Oh man, the race was awesome. I mean, obviously, this is coming without the whole or Chase Elliott making it to the Final Four. First time ever. number one of things you like to see. But honestly, in terms of the actual racing product that we got, I was actually really happy with it. Ooh, really had to kind of check up there without absolutely adoring Justin Haley right there. But yeah,
Stay low.
yeah, that was something that I was really happy to see. But the racing itself, with how much was on the line, was insane. What's up, Adam? How you doing today? Chase Elliott is heading to the Final Four. Hope either him or Hamlin wins it all. Dude, I would be very happy if Chase actually did
Looking
it.
outside now.
Because, well, he would beat his dad, for starters, for how many seasons and age to get his first championship, if that would ever happen. He wouldn't get the record for the youngest champion, not by any stretch of the imagination. I forget his name, but person in 1950 was the one that holds that honors. I forget who won the 50 title, but that's him. As I slightly tap the outside wall, no harm, no foul. These Xfinity composite bodies just basically just bend right back out.
Inside. Clear behind.
Okay, Riley, I see you. I see you. Nothing but Bone says, I was super surprised to see Harvick getting knocked out. I'm hoping for Elliott. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Oh my god. Chad, you would not believe the Twitter world was going nuts after the post-race. You had the group of people that was saying, Chase Elliott cheated, you know, of course NASCAR's golden boy gets a golden ticket to the Final Four because of his pit road penalty, you know, and that got rescinded. When it's, I mean, I didn't even know it was a thing. I watched the race on a tape delay, so I was fast forwarding it. When I heard penalty, I'm just like, oh, race over. Also, his pit crew kind of screwing him out. I was thinking, oh, race over. But when they actually showed that you can actually reset, you know, by, and I quote, coming to or behind the wall, essentially reset your position. I'm just like, well, hell's bells. I didn't even realize that that was even a thing. Kind of check up right there for Harrison Burton and Timmy Hall. I'm so glad Timmy Hall's running so well. Look at this. He got some screen time today. He got plenty of talk about his race today, and it's nice to see Timmy Hill get some love because he actually is a good driver, and hopefully he gets a good ride here in the future, whether it be in the Cup Series or Xfinity Series. But yeah, when there was the people that were saying, oh yeah, he got a golden ticket to the Final Four, and then there's the people that were, you know, saying that, oh man, the playoffs should never be a thing, and you know, that's a topic that I think I should hit on. You know, I feel like as an obligation of a content creator, I should probably put my 2 cents in. But first of all, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Overall, what were you guys' thoughts on the race? First and foremost, the race, just as a standalone race, how would you rate it? That's my first question. Because for me, I would rate it 9 out of 10. On-track action was superb, as well as the implications for the race being on par, on site. I also like the fact that going into this race, Chase was being told, okay, yeah, you have to win in order to make the Final Four, and he was just like, okay, bet. Adam says, race 10 out of 10. Personally, I enjoyed it 9 out of 10. It says nothing but bones. Alright, cool. Alright, now, here is the next question. And because I like to kind of put these in part with, like, questions kind of separated. I think the race was, honestly, like I said, the racing was superb. And the implications. Oh. The people that were saying that Harvick is basically getting screwed out of a playoff berth because of the playoff system. I honestly think that, I mean, I'm going to go into serious mode for a second. No joking around. And as I continue to just turn laps, I'm going to go on a little bit of a spiel. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? So buckle up. So the playoff system. When I've been a long-time fan. I mean, I took a little bit of a break, but not by choice, and that's because I was working like literally 70 hours a week. I didn't have time to watch NASCAR in between the year 2014 and 2015. But that was in the high chase format. When we swapped over to the playoff system was when I really started getting back into it. Obviously, so I've seen many different playoff systems, whether you want to call it the chase or the playoffs, doesn't really matter, it's basically the same thing. I have seen a lot come and go. I've also seen, classic Daytona 500 to race 36 go by. Person with most points at the end of the season wins the title. I've seen every system go by. And I personally think out of all of them, while I personally believe that the year-to-year thing of like Daytona, the green flag of Daytona to the checkers at whatever the final race may be, is I shouldn't say best way, but my most preferred method. Obviously, like when I do a championship mode, that's what I aim for. I don't go for playoffs. My next favorite is the current playoff system. Now, Eric Estep, I don't know if you watch his videos, said it magnificently. He thinks that the playoff system we have now is the best. I disagree with that, but he's saying that it is the best playoff system that has been created, and I would have to agree with that. Now, let me go into, before anyone says anything, it's like, oh, well, you're just saying that because Chase made it to the Final Four, no, that's not it. Obviously, yes, I'm happy that Chase made it to the Final Four and has a shot at a title, but the fact that this current playoff system is, and I've started realizing this as well, it just rewards consistency as a year-long point system just as much as the current playoff system. Because think about it, there's a mini season, there's a big long season, in the 26 races to start out the year before the playoffs, and then regular season champ. 15 bonus points, awesome. You get those, rack them up, and you have a very good cushion going into the playoffs. Kevin Harvick had that. Same thing with Denny Hamlin. Now then, you go into each round of the playoffs, and it's a mini season in between those. You have 3 races for the round of 16, 3 races for the round of 12, 3 races for the round of 8, and then the 1 race, winner take all. And when I used to be a thing that a proponent for that isn't consistency. I think this race kind of changed my opinion on that. Kevin Harvick was consistent as hell throughout the regular season, and he had a bunch of playoff points to kind of lay down in his bed with. Now, why am I even talking about that is because let's imagine the old Winston Cup, let's just say, let's just use 1998 as the example. Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, two big hitters going head to head. Obviously, Jeff's stats were better than Mark's, and he was the one that had the title at the end of the night. But the fact that, let's just say, Jeff, for the final, because he wrapped up the title with 2 races left, for the final 5 races, he DNF. That consistency can make or break your season. Yes, you can have all those wins and all those points stored on up, but I think that the playoff system that we have in place is very much the same. Obviously, Kevin Harvick with a point reset, basically restarted at 0. Yes, Kansas was well, that was by 0. His 0 plus his playoff points, a very good cushion, a favorite to go to the Champ 4. Obviously, we all thought he was going to, but it never happened.
Clear.
That's because that consistency was not met in the round of 8. Whether or not they got cocky, or they just got complacent, or what, something happened in the round of 8 that Kevin Harvick just kind of slipped. So because of that, we go into the round of 8. He rips off second, then he finishes very below average for Kevin Harvick standards in the round, or in Texas and Martinsville. Because of that, and what everyone else needed to do, they met the demands and actually surpassed them. Now, what I'm getting at here is that I'm going to just switch position. I don't want to be on the outside. So what I'm getting at here is with the playoffs comes a certain level of intensity that you have to go through. It's an honor to be in the playoffs, you know, and that's awesome. Because let's think about it. Like during season-long points battles, no one remembers who finished 16th in points. No one remembers that. But Matty D is going to remember. If this, who knows, this could be his only playoff appearance this year in 2020. And he's going to remember that. And he's going to be looking back on it and be like, this was my career year. And so will his fans be like, oh, remember 2020 and how good Matty D was. But yeah, what I'm getting at here, just to make a long story short, is not only is there that level of intrigue, but and for entertainment, because it is entertaining to watch all these battles go by and make every race count towards the greater goal instead of having just some burn away races. Because, you know, going back to my example of like, what if a person that is just massively leading the points has a couple bad weeks, you know, in a year-long points battle, kind of like Jeff Gordon. Let's just say, yes, he has that massive point lead, much like Kevin Harvick, and so he has a, let's just say, a one-race buffer. He can DNF, finish last, and he's still going to keep the point lead. Okay, that's fine. That was Texas for Kevin Harvick. Okay, so he goes into Martinsville just needing a solid day, and he doesn't do it. So then what happens? Well, if you only have one race that you can just bogey, you know, but that's it, what's the difference between a year-long points battle and the playoffs? You know? Because essentially in the playoffs, it means you can't make a mistake. It rewards the drivers that are the best at what they do. You bring your A game. And if you don't, then, well, sorry, you're going to not be a champion. Now, I think it was Danny B that said on Twitter that the playoffs shouldn't be what the champion is. It should be who fights to be the champion. What's up, Cameron? How are you doing today? Now, I agree with that, and he also created a make-believe what he thinks the playoffs should look like. And it was essentially points reset for the playoffs. Like, so at the end of 26 races, points reset and restart from 0. At the end of the 10th race in the playoffs, so the 36th race, winner is the most points there. Essentially, meaning you have more races to bogey, and you have more opportunities to capitalize on other people's mistakes. Whether or not that is the best way of putting things is yet to be determined, or not, but Kevin Harvick was phenomenal in the first, what, 33 races? And then race 34 and 35 was just not Kevin Harvick. I mean, and because of that, he missed out on fighting for his second championship. So, my question to you, guys, is what do you think of that? As much as I'm an advocate for a year-long points battle, it's essentially what I'm arguing for. In some aspects, the same. To kind of sum up my argument, is what I'm trying to say. They both value consistency, and except in the playoffs, you have less time to make errors. Playoff points essentially are those buffers and rewards a stellar regular season, but in the same token, you have less opportunities to mess up. So, what do you guys think? Because I think we all thought that Kevin Harvick was going to go to the Final Four, but according to some people, this shows the flaw of the playoff system, and like I said, I was originally not an advocate for a playoff system, but like a person who's just like, oh, well, this is the system that we have, deal with it, you know? I am now realizing what this means for the overall racing, and that it's not just about, oh, NASCAR threw it in to boost ratings, you know? No, there is an actual point behind it. So, like I said, but I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think? Is that Chase Briscoe? That's right about that. Because, like I said, in another point, that in the current playoff system, every race matters. Not so much in the regular season, where you have more opportunities to make up points that you lost, but should you have a bad day, so like let's just say, you know, kind of like Jimmy Johnson, you know, you can argue that he missed the playoffs by having COVID, you know, and missing Indianapolis, which is true. I mean, if you look at the points, by just starting that race, he would have made the playoffs. But because of that, you know, you have so many other races that you could have made up those, I think he lost like, 15 points or something like that. You have other races that you can make that up. In the playoffs, that time condenses down to just, if you have a bad day, so like with Kevin Harvick, he had a bad day at Texas. Okay, well, that's where you lean on your playoff points. You're like, okay, cool. As long as I have a solid day and just finish, not terribly, in the round in Martinsville, we move on. But like I said, I want to hear what you guys think. I don't think the current system is horrible, but it's also pretty unforgiving in the sense that there's basically no room for error. They can't have one bad day. And I think that is the entertainment factor, you know? And like I said, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just arguing for why it's in place, you know? And that's the entertainment factor, is that that's because it's so unforgiving. That as soon as a driver, like I said, Kevin Harvick, also Denny Hamlin also had a really bad run at Texas as well. That because of that, they both were in danger of missing the playoff or missing the Final Four. And that's just the entertainment factor, saying that, I was like, what if, you know? And that's why you need to watch from flag to flag, because in a moment's notice, a season could be ended. Now, like I said, okay, Daniel Hemrick is on something else. On deck, that's what he's on. And that's not stuff. Dad jokes. Anyway. So, but because it's so unforgiving, much like in comparison to, I don't want to sound correct, but like in comparison to like a season-long points battle, where you will have more opportunities and can potentially wrap up the title in, let's just say, with 2 races to go, you know, those points can evaporate by having just multiple bad days. It's still the same thing. As long as you finish well, you don't have to worry about it, you know? But it's there just in case you need it.
Left side.
God, yeah. You go, man. All you, bud.
Careful, still there.
Just back off of this right now. That's a losing battle. But no, I do agree. It is really unforgiving. I mean, to use my guy, Chase, as the example here, I mean, his playoff hopes are often dashed when it comes to Martinsville, you know, and he got it done today. So, ooh, I was just wondering when the caution was going to come out. Because then we have to pit. Jeremy Clements is in second? How? Like, literally how? What do we do here? I need to raise this. Bring that to 49. Lower. No. Let's bring this to. I'm gonna raise the air pressures and see what happens. I agree. I'm a Kurt Busch fan as well. So when I saw him blow his car 2 weeks ago, I knew it was over. But at the same time, now let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Who gets Lucky Dog real quick? Chad Fincham, 31st. Let's talk about the elephant in the room here.
All right, be smart out there.
Sorry, I'm ditzing out. The elephant in the room here. The win to get in. You know, that's the stipulation where, and he actually did have a chance to win today. You know, what was it? 6? No, that was Bowman. P4 today. Not P4, because second, third, fourth. It's very top 10. I know that. I don't want to make myself look cool. Very solid run. Win to get in.
All clear.
Now, do you think that should be a thing? Because essentially that just means that's a free pass.
Still there.
Pass. Used up. No contact was made there. Just kind of used him up, pushing him up the track a little bit. Just slot in right there. He did well in the first 2 stages. In the third, he just started slipping behind. And honestly, that's just the transition from day to night. Nothing but bones. You know, it's weird. Like Denny Hamlin was set up to run in the day, and then as soon as night hit, well, it was over. He started slipping on back. He looked like he was on worn tires the entire day. He was slipping and sliding. He almost went out. And if Kevin Harvick didn't dump himself and Eric Jones didn't pass him, he would have been out. And that's weird. That's weird to think about. Now, the whole win to get in thing, I feel, it's like a catch-all for a person, and that's entertainment right there. Like when I mean by entertainment is the win to get in is the, oh man, what if, like, a Matt DiBenedetto, a person who doesn't regularly race for wins but can win, gets in there. What if a Corey LaJoy gets in there, you know? And in terms of the Xfinity Series, Kurt Busch finished 5th. Nice.
Careful, still there.
Pass Brandon Jones here. I don't think it's gonna. No. No.
Outside,
Too unstable.
by
Too
itself.
unstable.
All right, clear outside.
That's basically what it is. Yeah, it's a free pass. Ooh, why tight? The car just did not turn. I like the win to get in idea personally. Now, see, not everyone does though. Kurt Busch finished fifth. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. I didn't want to look like an idiot, but I think I did anyway. Considering the race just happened. Because I knew the Penske boys finished second, third, fourth. They had a stellar race. Oh my god. Second, third, and fourth from the Penske boys. And Bowman finished sixth. And, you know, Bowman continues to improve and impress. I'm number 3 in things, top 10 things you like to see. Yo, Evan Johnson, how you doing today? Thank you so much for the bit, man. Long time no see. So yeah, the whole like win to get in thing, that's probably one of the things that fans, and what I mean by fans, I mean like the people that are like totally against the idea of the playoffs are against, because Chase Elliott, by winning in Martinsville, got into the Final Four by winning and knocking out Harvick. Now, I'm not saying this as a Chase fan, but I also like the idea of a win to get in, but I don't know about the playoffs, and that's the thing I'm actually genuinely thinking about, because that's the only thing for a consistency where it's just, you know. Yeah, and no, that wasn't his crew chief. That was straight up Joe Gibbs telling him, no, you're by under no circumstances are you allowed to pass the 11. And you know, like, kudos to Eric for actually listening, because you know he's out of a ride next season. He's out of that ride, so who cares, you know, what Joe Gibbs has to say. He doesn't have to deal with him next season. But, you know, like, that's a class act right there, by recognizing someone's playoff hopes are on the line right there and just continuing on. Like, that is top. Eric Jones earned a little bit of my respect right there. I've been kind of harsh on the guy and saying that he's a little bit of a, not a little bit, I did call him a bust, a cup bust, but hey, he earned a little bit of my respect today. I'm proud not to admit when I'm wrong. But yeah, the win to get in thing is like, I am only unsure of it in the playoffs because of the implications that it can have. And I know the whole win to get in thing is the entertainment factor of the playoffs. It's like, oh, anyone can win and make it to the Final Four as long as you win. It puts more emphasis on winning, much like the whole playoff points, you know, more emphasis on winning 5 points by just waiting for the playoff bucket, you know. As the NBC commentators, I think Steve Letarte says, you know, that's a drop, that's a fill up my bucket and live with it. Now, obviously, you can do everything right and still miss on out, which in terms of the trucks, I'm going to use Matt Crafton as the example. You know, my boy in trucks. He missed out on the playoffs, or on the Final Four, and it's not because he, like, a person below the cut line won. Everyone that did win was already above the cut line. Minus Grant figure, but he was just straight up outran by them. And you know, sometimes it's just a matter of, okay, are you better than your competitors? And I don't think you were. I don't think he was. Brandon Finger was though, and he was the one that ended up getting it. Now, if he didn't win, Matt Crafton would have made it. But that's the thing, guys. That's the thing. Have you noticed that Matt Crafton, you know, three-time Truck Series champion, got knocked out of the playoffs because of a person underneath him winning? Whereas, and because he did have a decent season. He wasn't the regular season, nor did he have, like, the 9 wins like Harvick. And so I know there's a magnitude difference here. But what I'm getting at, though, is you notice that no one batted an eye to that. That's because trucks don't get any attention.
You got room.
And I'm actually kind of salty about that, as I just fly by Brandon Jones.
Left side, clear all around. Left side.
The way they're able to just turn down is actually
Lane's
insane.
clear. All clear. One back. Going to look outside. He's outside. He's outside there by himself. All clear. No pressure from behind.
But overall, but real quick, I just want to make sure. But is what I'm saying making sense? Like, does it sound like it's like the insane ramblings of Private Pat, or is what I'm saying actually, like, making sense?
Clear all around. Left side.
Okay, Adam's saying, I like the win to get into the playoffs. Could be a little better. Also not a big fan of stage racing. Okay, this will suck.
Still there. Got one inside.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. 3 positions dropped because I was on the outside there. Oof. And the reason why I kind of backed off is because I don't want to end up on the wall and having like so much damage. I'd rather be in 10th than bring out a yellow, have to pit and repair damage. I'm also not a big fan of stage racing. Also a Matt Crafton fan. He didn't have the truck to win that race. Exactly. He was a top 10 truck, and that was it. Brandon Finger, though, as aggressive as he was, drove that truck. Track position strategy, put him there, and he followed through. I feel like the trucks never get enough attention. And let me finish up that statement here through the short chute. The trucks never get enough attention. If you're watching, I've been wanting to watch a truck race. Oh, I'll tell you what. This season, in terms of like on-track action, the trucks in Xfinity have been, in my opinion, an overall better product than Cup. And I think that's insane to think about. Because, think Cup is, the pinnacle of the NASCAR ladder. You sort of think it would have the best racing, but honestly, I kind of attribute that to the package, the air package that they run. There were some races that are just straight up snooze fests. Look at you, but because of that, we have in Kentucky, I guess. Kentucky, I'm kind of glad that track's off the calendar. But Xfinity and trucks, because they are shorter in length, but also they have a tire deficit. They have a set amount of tires that they have that is less than what the Cup guys run. Provides better on-track action because there's strategy calls, and you actually have to maintain your equipment instead of just go hard, race hard. Car just doesn't want to rotate this in that corner. Kind of drifts on up. My right rear is already starting to go. But yeah, in overall terms of racing content, the trucks in Xfinity are in my opinion, leaps and bounds better than Cup, and as a person who's just recently started watching Cup and Xfinity, or not Cup and Xfinity, Xfinity and trucks. 2018 was my first year of watching all three full time. You know, from flag to flag, never miss a race. Alright, so we're almost halfway in this race right now. Yeah, I just overall think that there are people that are upset. Now, if you would have looked at it and said, and like, let's just play devil's advocate here and say that Kevin Harvick didn't make the playoffs, okay, or didn't make the final four. This whole discussion wouldn't even be a thing because people would have just not talked about it. Now, they would have talked about it after. They would have talked about it after, where for some reason, if he didn't actually win the final race, which that's another argument that people bring up, is that, like, you know, hypothetically speaking, a driver can win 35 races and then on the 36th finish second, and as long as another competitor finishes in front of him, he loses the championship. Now, that is, I do have to admit, a problem with the winner-take-all format, but that just means, in defense of that you were by your standards, if you won the other 35, you were bad that race. And because of that, you got punished. You need to be like that every single race. What's up, Bryce? How are you doing today? Am I still... Okay, I'm actually gaining time over Ray Black Jr. Nice. Great with that chase win. Oh, man. I'm excited as well. I think he actually has a legit shot at Phoenix. Yes, he's very off and on at that track. His pit crew takes him out more often than not. But hopefully he can actually... I think he's legitimately going to have a fighting chance. I like the truck series, but it's hard for me to watch the truck race because I'm always busy on Fridays. Can you record your races? Like, do you have like TiVo, or do you have like a cable provider that can actually record shows and all that? Because, like I said, I mean, truck races are like super short. They generally run for like 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. You got an idea for the NASCAR playoffs? Let's hear it. Because I don't wanna say that that Danny B took my idea, but if you guys recall the Truck of Tomorrow series back in NH4 when I literally did points myself, that's basically how I had it. That's basically literally the playoff system that I had. So I'm not saying Danny B took my idea, but I'm saying he took my idea. So Bryce is saying keep mostly the same, but what's this but here? Because that but's in capital. And the way they enter off, they exit so low coming off of one. I wish I could do that. Okay, so you're part of that argument that's saying regular season champ should be part of the Final Four. Because it takes a lot to be consistent. Yes, but to have a free ticket for 9 races, though, doesn't that seem a lot? Does that seem like a lot? Like, essentially, that's literally saying, oh yeah, you don't even need to show up for these 9 races. And then be guaranteed a Final 4 berth. Like, I don't know. Because, yes, I do agree, it does take a lot to be consistent, and you should be rewarded for it. You should be given something to be the regular season champ, you know? But I don't know about an automatic Final 4 spot, you know? I mean, like, I'm not, like, I'll say this, like, I'm not against the idea of the regular season champ automatically making the round of 12, you know, because my idea, my whole thing that I'm stuck on is to be given a free ticket for 9 races. That's a lot. They do deserve something. Oh, I'm in total agreement there. I'm saying, like, maybe if that were to be part of it, like, I'd say an automatic playoff for round of 12, you know? They automatically get past the round of 16. Cool. You know, to kind of use this season as the example. Kevin Harvick automatically moves on to the round of 12. Awesome. Perfect. You know? Because I just for 9 races, though, that's just a lot. What if instead of the Final 4 you're guaranteed? Yeah, okay, it's nothing but bonus. Man, taking my ideas. People just steal my ideas. I should put a copyright on that. Just round of 8 itself also feels like a lot. I feel like, because like 6, I feel like 3 is maybe like the minimum that you can get. And that you can probably get away with. Because then you can keep it into okay, playoff points. It's like, okay, now you actually have to start buckling down and pull those belts tight one more time, you know, and then you get on the wheel, and that's when you start driving in the round of 12. I can, but I can always run across it on Facebook. Also, I agree with Bryson, but instead of 4 drivers, let's make it 6 drivers in the championship race. I've always said, honestly, as well, I'm not saying like the whole chase format, but I loved what the trucks did with 8. And I've said this on stream before, and you can quote me on this. I feel like the smaller the playoff number, the bigger the competition. You know? Because that means you have the best of the best up on there. You know? So, like, let's hypothetically use this and say that next season they're cutting down the playoff numbers to 8. You know? Top 8. Win and get in. Oh man, you have 36 races, but only 8 drivers get in? Oh, that's a lot of emphasis on winning, you know? That means you're not just guaranteed with 1 win. You have to win at least twice, maybe 3 times. You know? And that means you are the best of the best. And that means as the playoffs roll in, which I don't know if they would reduce the amount of races for the playoffs. You know, like, because in the trucks when they did the cut to 8, they did 7 races for their playoffs. You know, 3 for the round of 8, 3 for the round of 6, and then final 4. But I don't know if that means they would have to reduce the amount of races, or not. Or if they just keep it at 10 and then just cut after 4 races, and then cut after, or sorry, yeah, I'm right. So like cut after 5 races, and then cut after 4, and then final 4. You know. Just glad MTJ didn't do it after his whining at Phoenix. Well, not Phoenix, Texas. Dude, same. Welcome to MTJ's world. We're just living in it. Or sorry, I didn't realize this world revolved around MTJ. Yeah, this thing's tightening at the same time. It's because I'm losing right rear grip. This thing's sliding. Like, it's good in the short run, but as the run goes on, it starts to snowball down. But that's just Pocono, honestly, because it's so flat, it burns the right rear. But what do you guys think about that idea? You know? Of, like, reducing the, like, if you do keep it the same, reduce the number of people, you know, that are allowed in. For, like, the final, like, if you do reduce it to 8, like, if the whole idea of entertainment is the focus on winning, then you put the focus on winning by having a larger schedule in a smaller playoff field, you know? That means you have to be on your A game every season, because one mistake could knock you out of that final 8, you know? But so what do you guys think about that? And I'm open to criticism. This is an open discussion. What do you guys think on that? Good news is we're still gaining ground on Ray Black Jr. By the way, welcome everyone if you're just now popping in. Nothing my bones is so you're saying get rid of the 16 and the 12, correct? Yes. Get rid of the round of 16, the round of 12, and literally only. Well, no, okay. What exactly I'm saying is cut to final 8. Okay, that's the start of the playoffs. You have 8 drivers. Start of the playoffs, 8 drivers going for a title. And what the trucks did, ever since last year, they did round of 8, 3 races. Round of 6, 3 races, final 4. And I'm saying kind of adopt that, you know? Because the trucks literally have 13 less races than Cup guys do, you know? So there's not only that, but there's also the Cup guys that sometimes come on down there, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, you know, stuff like that, and take wins away.
At your bumper, clear high,
But
clear high.
with the Cup Series, no one's coming up in order to take wins away from them, you know. So essentially, if the emphasis on the playoff system now is the focus on winning, oh my God, Mike Harmon, what are you doing? Then my opinion is to reduce the number of people that are allowed into the playoffs, and then also make the rounds, like the amount of people cut shorter. Essentially adopt the trucks method of doing things. But like I said, what do you guys think? I want to know. And this is an open discussion. If you have any ideas, let me know. If you're just now popping in, welcome. This is the Xfinity 25 track championship mode. And we're just talking a little bit about racing and what we saw at Martinsville. Obviously, I'm happy that Chase Elliott got into the Final Four. But not everyone is. So give us your thoughts. Thoughts, comments, concerns.
Careful, still there.
Come on.
Careful, still
Come on, Chad. Just give up the ghost. Harvick is bad. Yes. Adam, yes. Essentially, I'm saying Cup should take the truck method of doing things. Because the round of 8 is just so small. Very little room for error. So it's not just win once and you're in, or win past, win more or less than
Look ahead for me. Clear outside.
Sorry. So in the regular season, it's not just win once and you're done. You know, it may come down to you having to win more than once, because then you have the best of the best in the round of 8. You know. I don't mind that. It says nothing but bones. I definitely have to agree and say that it would cause more competition in the regular season. And like I said, because then that means that's when it comes down to consistency. Because if you do have a bad day and you are one of the winners, you know, but so let's just hypothetically say that I know this won't happen. I know this won't happen. But out of the, what would it be? 29 races it would be for the regular season. It would be, let's just say every top driver in what would be the round of 8 has 2 wins. Well, then it comes down to points. And going into the final race, you know, you just need to have a solid day to take in that round of 8. And you don't get stage points, you know, you don't have that solid day. Then you get knocked out of the playoffs. So it's like, oh, well, I mean, yes, you have your 2 wins, but sorry, you ended up finishing P9 when your competitor needed to beat you by a point, and they did.
Clear to the right.
But you could have made up those points in the regular season in the other 28 races. Sorry, it sucks to suck. Yes, you have 2 wins of the season, but you know, I mean, not enough. I'm not saying that's like. I'm not saying that is like the fix-all. Obviously, there's a bunch of different ways that it can be fixed. I agree with Eric Estep when he says that they just need to figure out a system and stick with it. Don't change it. Because we've been in the same system since 2017. 2017 when Martin Truex Jr. won his championship. 2018 was Joey Logano. Last year, Kyle Busch for the second time. Obviously, all those 3 times, my bad, are with the current system we have. Would the points still reset after the regular season system in this format? I would agree. I would have to say, because then that means, yes, you by winning stages, you know, you get something for it. I think that stages are a thing. Like, I like the idea of stages. What I don't like are the cautions, because that's when people manipulate the system and be like, oh, well, I know I have a guaranteed yellow coming. You know? I just feel like stages should just be a green flag thing, and at the end of this lap, you know, oh, cool, stage points are earned, you know? But the race continues going. I feel like you should be rewarded for going up front and being consistently up front. So, like, getting those stage wins, getting those wins, and all those playoff points, they should be rewarded, so a system reset would happen. Because let's just go back to our example. Let's just say that going into this hypothetical playoffs, every driver has 2 wins. Okay? I know every playoff eligible driver has 2 wins. Well, then who's going to be ahead of who in terms of points, you know? That's when playoff points have to be earned.
Watch the car in front of you. Slow it down. It's going to be pitting. Slow down.
I slowed down a little bit too much right there. So, like, if they win a race in the round of 8, at the end of the round, the win don't matter. It's if you... I actually don't think I need to fix anything. Yeah. I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna actually swap the pressures and see if that changes anything. So, like, so it's... is if you have the points, you can move on to the next round. So you're saying, so if you win a race in the round of 8, at the end of the round, the win doesn't matter. I think I understand what you're saying.
Be ready. Get after it now. Get after it now. You're
Oh
clear.
wow, we gained a lot of time on on Ray Black Jr. Yes, I mean, okay, yeah, you move on. You have enough points at in your bucket in order to move on. I mean, it's kind of like the regular way of doing things now. Timmy Hill actually leading right there. What? Man, you don't see that too often. The thing is, drivers should be rewarded for consistency, is what I'm trying to say. Also, in the same token, drivers making the playoffs puts a highlight on drivers that normally don't get that, okay? Now, whether or not this needs to be a thing where with 8 drivers or 16, doesn't really matter. I don't want to be on the apron for too long. Actually scared me right there. I actually had to get off and actually turn right a little bit. I was scared, Chad. I was scared. Ooh. Ooh. Hang on. Hold the tuna. Hold the tuna, Chad. I am 2 laps short. Oh, man, I think these guys are actually 1 lap short, too. Oh, man, I am in love with this scheme. That scheme is fire, my guy. I know it's a tomato juice or applesauce. You can win a race in a round of 8, but you don't automatically move on to the next round. Okay, so you're saying that you don't like the whole win to get in thing. You just need the points to move on to the next round. Yes. I mean that is cool. That is the value of consistency. Now, and that's the whole thing why I'm so skeptical on having the win and get in the playoffs, because, you know, it's like, but then again, you don't want to have it for one part of the season, you know, win to get into the playoffs, and then win to get in, not have the win to get in, go into the next round, you know? I don't know. What I'm saying is, I don't have the perfect fix. I mean, I don't think anyone does. I don't think even NASCAR does. But I think we just gotta play the system as is and just let it roll. You know, just gotta play the hand we've been dealt. Yes, we all have our ideas of how we can fix it, but I think honestly, I don't think there is a perfect fix. Nothing, no one, even if we were to go back to season-long points, chat, there's going to be people that are just like, man, this race sucks. It doesn't even matter. Kevin Harvick, who wrapped up the championship 2 weeks ago. You know, what's the point of even watching? You know? People are going to be complaining about that if they were to go back to the year-end points, you know? There's always going to be those group of people way in the corner, in the back, that are just going to be like, yeah, you know, I prefer it the old way. Outside, around the outside.
Clear all around.
But whatever happens, I've always said that around lap 69, nice. I've always said that I feel if Kevin Harvick did not make the Final Four or did not win the championship, which he's not going to do now because he didn't make the Final Four, NASCAR would change the playoff system. So I'm a little true to that. I have a gut feeling here, Chad, that they are going to make a change to the current playoff system, and we're gonna be due for some updates. Hopefully not. I don't want that to happen, because much like what Erica Stepp said, we as NASCAR fans, we like change, but not so fast. You know, think about it, of all the stuff that's happened in these past couple of years. Changes to the aero package, changes to the race format, changes to this championship format, changes in drivers, changes in teams, changes in numbers, you know, I mean, changes in tracks. There is so many things that have changed in these past couple of years that, like, you know, there are some people that just can't accept change and don't accept change. But whether or not you're part of that group or not, we all want change, we look for change, but in small increments. Not like literally Fast and Furious, where we're still trying to take our medicine on the fact that, yeah, stage racing will be a thing for quite some time, let alone the fact that the playoff system has been around for just as long. Nothing but Bone says, gotta head to bed. Thanks for the chat, guys. Have a great night. You too, man. Thank you guys for being here. By the way, that, like I said, I don't want to sound like the insane ramblings of Private Patty, you know? That is the last thing I want. I love the sport. NASCAR will forever be my sport of choice. I mean, yes, there are times where I get frustrated, but there are times where I feel like NASCAR has something and they shouldn't back down. And I think this is one of those times where I think they have something, but it's not the way that fans are, like, wanting, you know? Or they need to be shown that, yes, this can be just as good as the old way if you just give it a chance, you know? But people kind of get hung up on hashtag not my NASCAR, you know? And I feel like Kevin Harvick's statement, oh, this championship isn't the ones that Petty and Earnhardt used to get. Oh man, if I just get crazy loose going into turn one there. Used to earn. I don't think I kind of helped. I would argue that winning a championship this season, or not this season, just in this format, is incredibly hard. Because not only do you need to be on point the entire season, but you need to be on point every single race, no mess-ups. It's very unforgiving. And at the end of the day, you know, you just have to be the best of the rest. You know, Matt Crafton won the title in a championship, won a championship without a single win in the entire season. But he was consistent. He was damn consistent. And sometimes finishing second can win a title. I'll use that as the example. You know, Matt Crafton winning last year's truck title. No wins in the season, but he was always in the top 5. You know, always in the top 5, being very consistent, minding his P's and Q's, taking care of his equipment. And then also then it came to the final race in the Homestead, he just had to beat the other guys. I mean, and yes, the race in itself, he didn't win. Austin Hill won that race. But he finished second. And the fact that he was consistent enough to even make that race, and then also had a very solid day. Sometimes P2 can win titles. You know? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Adam says, what do you think about all the drivers get to pick what lane they got restarting? That's another thing that people got mad over. It's like, you know, that's just another thing of like change, you know, the whole choose cone, you know. I like it, honestly. I really do. I mean, I always think that that should be a thing, because that actually adds like some level of driver involvement, where yes, they can be told that, oh yeah, like we have X amount of people lining up on the top or X amount of people lining up on the bottom, but at the end of the day, they're only going to listen when they can actually see out their front windshields, and they can see the people that are lined up, you know. Be like, oh, I know my car drives better on top, I'm going to choose on top. Or, oh man, Martinsville is a very bottom-heavy track, but I know if I can just get around this one guy, and then sneak to the bottom, I'm gonna start at the top. I think it adds a whole new level of driver involvement in strategy to it, and I definitely think it will stay. Honestly, the whole choose cone thing, because it is part of local short tracks. It's part of the modifieds. I want to know how many people are on those laps, though, because I'm curious. Like I said, I am... Well, actually, now I'm technically 1 lap short. But, yeah. I'm saving fuel as we move on here. But I don't know if I'm saving fuel enough. Alright, so let's just... Oh, never mind. Okay, so we're lapping the quarter. But I feel like, chat, I feel like there's gotta be a yellow. There's always a yellow that is gonna take away fuel strats. I know we're like a lap and a quarter short. So like, it's gonna hit 22 here. It's gonna hit 21 in the short chute just after the tunnel turn. Like right about, oh, right there. Okay, so it was right there that time. Let's see where it is this lap. Oh, man. But if there isn't a yellow, though, if there isn't a yellow to save fuel strats, I'm gonna be... panting and like, oh, please God, oh Lord save me. Alright, so just after the tunnel turn. Alright, it's actually in the same place. So I'm not saving, nor am I burning. It's actually just the right amount of fuel save. So, like, I don't think anyone can make it, honestly. If I recall correctly, Pocono is one of those tracks that you run out before you hit zero. I don't know. I don't know, chat. Either way. Either way.
Careful, still there.
I know I'm not gonna try something here.
Nobody out back.
Half throttle in. Okay, save a little bit. Kind of like tiptoeing it, we're gonna try feather footing it in. I lost a lot of time. That's the entire reason why I didn't want to do it, because I lost so much time. Literally right there. Just kind of let it coast. Alright. See if I can save. Let's see if that was saving enough right there by just doing that. Was enough. Oh my god! Ray Black Jr. saved. Oh yeah, chat, what do I do? Do I save here? Tell me, what do I do? Do I save here or do I just gun it? Because whatever you guys decide on is what I'll do. Do I save or do I just go? If I go, I'm hoping for a caution. If I save, I can essentially, I'm running with all intents and purposes thinking that we won't have a yellow. So what do I do here? Tell me. Tell me. I also can't wait for the road course as well. I can't wait for Coda, honestly. Some people are apprehensive about Coda, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait. It is going to be interesting, honestly. Road America is going to be a new venue for them. Oh. Hopefully they bring AJ Allmendinger back. Save as much as you can and go. I just want to see like how much that can save. Because by saving and a caution coming out, then that's when all bets are off. Alright, we can save a lot. Okay, we're gonna play the fuel game. We'll play the fuel game strat. Chat. Fuel game strat, chat. Letting it coast, letting it coast, letting it coast. Just pick up the throttle really, really late. That's Ray Black Jr. right behind us. Really wait to pick up the throttle. That's what we need to do here. I'm just saying, watch that there's gonna be a yellow. I mean, you can see how much time I'm losing. I literally gave up like a 5-second gap. Alright, so that was basically to the line for 15 laps. Okay, let's see what it's gonna be like this time. Just let Ray Black Jr. go. We're on a different strategy.
Careful, still there.
Let's see what is... Okay, chat for anyone that's just now popping in. Oh, I didn't see it nearly enough right there. For anyone that's just now popping in, welcome. This is the Xfinity Championship mode. And we are fuel saving because we are 1 lap short now. If I recall correctly, should be lap 80. Yeah, we are 1 lap short, exactly. So we definitely need to start saving. I mean, we're not going to win this race. That's just not going to happen. But we can save enough to potentially get there on fuel. Barely saved any there. Is that Noah Gregson behind? That's 14 laps to go now. We're gonna go like uber save mode. I'm not even full throttle right now.
Stay low. Still there.
You need a yellow now? Damn.
Still there. Hold your line. Got one outside.
We're going to try to just get past Landon Castle right now. Give me 1 second.
Stay to your left. Careful, still there. All clear, no pressure from behind.
Alright, let's see where this is. That was like uber save mode that lap. Ooh. Yeah, I am not gonna. You know what? No, no. We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue, Chad. We're gonna keep trying. No, actually, no. I lied. 11, I needed to... I need to go. I need a yellow. And I'm not gonna just go. I'm not gonna just... Oh well.
Still there. Still there.
Now you sort of think that by, like, literally 1 lap short. Actually, even then, I think we're actually, like... No, we're still... Chat, do we short pit? Do we short pit and take rights? Or do we just take fuel? Oh, no. Tire is actually pretty even on both sides.
Alright, 10 to go. Keep it nice and smooth for us. Careful, still there. Stay low, stay low. Still there.
Wow, Brandon Brown, thank you for just being there.
slightly left.
This is the second time that Mike Carmen's held me up.
Hard from the outside. Outside.
I mean, it's a
Clear all
big
around.
track, but like every time he just gets in the way.
Still there. Left side.
Mike Carmen, just get out of the way. Oh my
Still
god.
there. Bottom is clear.
It's not that hard, dude. It's not that hard. So Chad, do we pit early and take tires, or do we just take fuel? I'm an advocate for just taking fuel. Where Michael Net went to? Is he ahead of me? Is he behind? I'm pretty sure he's behind me, right? There's actually going to be also some people that I think can stretch it on out. See? Like, we have 8 laps remaining.
Clear outside.
If I go a lap down, definitely. You know what? Screw it. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. We're gonna risk it for the biscuit, Chad. Now we do a splash from the right to only give you some time to grip on the track. 55.2. Okay, so this was in the middle of 1 and 2 right now.
Got a car low now.
Hang up a 1 with 0.
Careful, still there. All clear.
Six to go. 6. Yeah, we're gonna risk it for the biscuit, chat. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I've been trying to save as much as I can ever since we changed on this, and even like half throttling is not really doing anything. Like I'll half throttle all the way down this long pond straight.
5 more laps.
Like I'm matching CJ McLaughlin's pace here. I only saved like half of that straight. We're gonna be close, chat. We're gonna be close. I'm not entirely sure. If I recall correctly, I think you hit you sputter before you.
Still there.
But we're gonna risk it. I dropped an entire second and a half right there. Alex Bay is already caught up to me.
Still there.
But I gotta make this work. I could look like a hero.
Number C quick. All the way to the wall.
I need to see if half it's straight right there. Or if that's gonna be enough. Because I'm still saving as I do this. This is uber save mode. Chad, I am not leaving half throttle. There's gonna be people that won't make it.
Keep moving. We're behind.
Ooh. What was that, Josh Blicky? You wanna calm down? Alright, let's see. So this was going into the tunnel turn. Oh, this has to be enough. It's gonna be close, chat. Fingers crossed. We have some takers. I repeat, we have takers.
Two to go.
Two to go. Austin Cindric's pitting.
Get low on gas. Get low on gas.
Oh, it's gonna be Austin Cindric is pitting. Race implications. Jeremy Clemens is in the lead. Does he have enough fuel? This is the final lap. I have to remember, half throttle, half throttle. I'm gonna run out on the short, on this short shoot right here. It's gonna be dang close, chat. Dang close. I just have to go for it. I just have to go for it. I could have swore I just heard a sputter.
Big driver.
If it runs out, it runs out. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take my gas. Jeremy Clements wins this race. Call it fuel strats.
Fuel's gotta be low, driver. Let's spin this lap.
Should be hitting 0. Now. Oh, there it is.
You're running on fuel now.
Barely
9
enough.
for a top 20.
Oh, just outside of top 10. Very, very close. We just saved barely enough in order to get there. Oh, me, oh my. That was close, Chad. That was close. I was nervous there at the end. I was nervous. Whew. Oh my god. Oh my god, where did Michael on that finish? Oh, 16th. Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah, Jeremy Clements won though. Look at that gap, too. Oh my god. Chase Briscoe, Anthony Alfred. Timmy Hill with a top 5, chat. Timmy freaking Hill with a top 5. And Austin's obviously having to pit there, meaning he is in P5 after leading, honestly, I think 99 laps. I'm not even kidding when saying that. Only one caution this race. Only one caution. But we were able to save enough, and we actually did it. Nice. Brandon Jones and Ross were the ones, and Ray Black Jr. were the drivers that we picked up spots from. Michael Nett in 16th, not a good day for him. Not honestly a good day for us, considering that we have 5 wins in the season. Timmy Hill 4th, dude, I know, right? And speaking of points, brings the point gap down to 12. Okay, all right, okay, I see ya. Like I said, 5 wins. We definitely have to start stepping up our game because we can't have 11th place finishes, much like what we were talking about. We can't have bad days. We have to. The fact that there's even a 12-point gap. Oh my God, 96 laps led, and he did not win this race. Oof, choke. So here's the thing. Even though I have 5 wins in the season, the fact that I'm only 12 points ahead shows that I need to be more consistent. I need to be better. You know? 5 wins and only 12 points ahead. Yeah, with a P9 at Dover to 11th at Pocono, we increased our finishing position over last year, so that's good. Michigan's up next. I think this is a bit of a bogey track, but we'll see. Chad, if you look at the settings, this is the usual stuff that we run. Nothing insane, honestly. Like literally the same stuff. Auto because it makes it harder, and then also, as you may or may not know, we do race with enabled DNFs. Thankfully, fingers crossed, knock on wood here, we have not finished. Well, we finished every single race, is what I'm trying to say. 100% race length and all the usual stuff. Strict yellow, but only 1 caution. 1 caution on strict yellow. 1 caution. So yeah. And then, like I said, as we look at the points, 12 points ahead of Michael Annette. And then Austin Centric is actually starting to bring down that points gap a little bit. As we move on to Michigan, it's going to be a hard track to pass here. If I recall correctly, we didn't finish all that well. I think we finished like 15th or something like that last season. So we definitely have some points that we need to make up. And then we move on to Iowa, one of our worst tracks on the calendar. Kentucky, also another bad one for the Xfinity series. And then New Hampshire. Yeah, these, I'm not looking forward to these 4. We need to be better. But then after that we have the road course section of the circuit, which I know I'm good at. So yeah, we'll have to just get better. And like I said, throughout our entire talk of the playoffs, consistency is key. We need to improve. We're up to the 10-lap race.